what if I were to tell you that traveling is more than you think, and that there is a formula to achieve the most from your travels and to truly actually change your life? Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Thriveda, your home for everything mind, body, spirit, so we can live our most empowering and inspirational lives. And I just got back from a pretty long trip to a few different countries, from a yoga village that I volunteered at in Italy, to Turkey to visit some ancient sites and see one of my good friends that I've not seen for a very long time, and of course to my homeland to visit the mountains that have been calling me for quite a long time now. We as people love to travel, not just to experience new things in new places, but because it moves energy. It begins a flow and interaction between us, our environment, and the other people involved. It creates new neural pathways and expands our world as well as our mind, which some would say is quite interchangeable, as many would claim the mind does not actually exist in the head, but that's a video for another time. Traveling also allows us to push ourselves out of our comfort zone. It's something I did, for example, by staying in a hostel for a few days when I was in Italy, to really kind of get out of that comfort zone, to connect with new people in new situations and have new adventures. And I can tell you, pay dividends. Hostels, they're pretty dang amazing. And of course, if you're like me, you love connecting to new cultures, to expand our horizon through the eyes of other peoples of this world who live vastly different lives. So yes, my friends, outward travels lead to inner growth, and vice versa. As they say, wherever you go, there you are. Because if you go traveling while feeling extremely sad or depressed or in a negative state, regardless of where you go, you might very well take those feelings with you. And so I've dove into the gamut of inner experiences. I've literally stayed in a very small area and meditated for 10 days for about 10 or 11 hours straight in this one of these Vipassana 10-day silent meditation retreats. And I found that I came out with a much growth, with a new sense of expansion and a new understanding of life in general. I could very well tell you that that inner experience I had was worth 1,000 outer travels. So it made me start to think that perhaps the inner travel is much more important than the outward travel, and that we can literally stay in a box that's 8x8. Sounds pretty terrible now that I think about it, and have an amazing experience, to have growth, and very well many people have in such places as jail cells. But more recently, I decided that maybe we don't have to choose one or the other. Why not have both? And I've concluded that meditation retreats or yoga retreats is probably one of the most rewarding ways we can go traveling, because you have an inner experience that very much changes you, along with an outer experience which could magnify those effects. It made me think back to my yoga teacher training that I did in Costa Rica, and how the environment really just lent towards an overall overwhelmingly wonderful experience. In fact, meditation retreats and yoga retreats is something I'll be offering in the near future, so I'm very much excited about that. Something else to consider is that when we travel, we often find ourselves staying up late, being in a foreign environment, maybe in a hostile setting where people stay up late more often than not, and we have to do what we can to get some rest. Yes, go out, have a good time, party, but save that for the few and far in between, because you'll enjoy it a lot more. Instead, treat your body well. Get up early if you can. Do some daytime activities bring a awesome meditation routine with you, and I'll add a little video about that down below so you can check that out. And in general, try to pick up healthy habits because you'll get a lot more out of your trip otherwise. Because when we search for that immediate dopamine stimulation, that immediate pleasure, we end up finding the opposite as well, which is pain, because you can't have those quick hits of pleasure without some pain on the other side of that. However, you'll find that by living a healthy life, by helping your body heal, by getting the proper sleep, the proper nutrition, the proper mindset, and meditation as well, you will only feel better and better, and probably better after that. So, my friends, I hope this gave you some perspective. I hope it inspired you to not just do some outer travels, but even if you're stuck at home, try some inner travels as well. And I'm wishing you the best. It is so good to be back with you, and I will see you on the